Leg press. What you want to do is you want to come in hip width apart. Again, staying on those heels, lowering the weight. And this is where everyone has this kind of misconception. So yes, in my younger years, I used to let my bum come right off and curl my spine up. That is very, very detrimental to a beginner, even an intermediate lifter, because you will have some injuries down the road. So what I tell my clients is you come down until you feel your bum start to curl. And as soon as you feel that, push through the heels and up. So there's a lot more room that I could bring my knees back farther, because a lot of you see online is they're calling it range of motion. So I can come back right to here and keep coming. But look at my bum. It is now completely off that seat. So again, that is very detrimental to my lower lumbar. So that's where you're walking that tightrope of injury, and that's a very common mistake. So what I recommend people doing is you bring it down until you start to feel your bum shift, and then it's press off. So you're just at that point of your bum shifting away, because your bum should be pressed down into that seat, and you'll feel it start to shift. Press. Everything's through the heel. Another common mistake is people bring it down, and the dexterity in their ankle isn't very good, and they start pressing off their toes, or they have their feet really, really low on here, and everything is in that catcher position off the toe. All the pressure is now on their knee, so it's very detrimental to the knee. Basically, the whole kinetic chain. So if you go through your bone structure, it allows your muscles to work properly. Like, your muscles are connected to your bones. So your joints is just a point where everything pivots. So you don't want, but that's where all your ligaments and tendons are. So you don't want the pressure on the ligaments and tendons. You want it on the muscle itself. So you let the knee break, but you don't want the pressure here. You want it on the muscle. So all you're doing is straightening that knee. So without putting the pressure on the ligaments and tendons, you're putting it on the muscle itself. So down, push through the heel, up. It's a very common sense way of thinking, but a lot of people try to overcomplicate it and lift too heavy and swear up and down that they can, and then injuries happen, and then they second guess themselves. So the big thing here is lift it properly, lift it with under control, and don't lift too heavy, is the big thing with leg press. Comparing the two, now in my later years, I would prefer leg press over squat, but unfortunately with my hernia, I have to be very careful with both of them, because obviously with the pressure coming down, it aggravates my hernia and pushes it up more through my diaphragm, which tend to give me symptoms. So for me, if I have a client and I'm putting them through something, I would tend to keep them over in, a squat pattern, which builds on overall strength instead of leg strength. If it's just a quad dominant day, I may just put them on leg press. So it all depends on what you're trying to achieve and what kind of goal the client has. But both are great. Both are really good for the legs. Leg press, more of a quad exercise than an overall exercise. You can manipulate your foot pattern on the platform to engage a little bit more of the ham and glute, but still it's a dominant of the quad. So take that information, run with it, use it in your next training split, and hope it works.